DMRL, Hyderabad. In this machine I performed the fabrication processing. How lens process works? Lens process consists of a laser head which supplies laser from kilowatts of 150 to 500 kilowatts of laser, which is supplied through the laser unit, and then this whole process is controlled by a workstation employed with a computer program and powder inert gas delivery system, where the powder is supplied to the nozzle and it is circulated with the argon gas. It is circulated due to avoid high high oxidation rate in build chamber and maintain the atmosphere oxygen inside constantly, and oxygen atmosphere is less than 10 ppm is maintained. Laser is supplied here and build substrate is deposited substrate. Sample is substrated deposited here. This is the CNC plate moves in XY movement and laser head moves in Z direction. By controlling all these process parameters, the component will be built here. Advantages of lens. Lens has so many numerous advantages where you can use multiple materials in daytime. Closed loop control process does not require secondary firing. Repair and refurbishment of components and to increase the lifetime of the service life of the components. Multiple materials can be used, best suitable for coatings. Disadvantages. Complex components can be built. Very complex product is very difficult to build and it has a rough surface and dimensional accuracy is very less. Powder forming methods are only few materials are for powder form, and the process needs high laser power which is expensive. Applications. Lens has several applications in different areas like aerospace, where it is used to build engine parts, structure, nozzles. Aero parts have high temperature performance. Lens process components withstand high temperature. Industrial applications like manufacturing of gas turbines and electronics, they were used to repair circuit boards, and medical implants and medical devices. Classification of biomaterials. Biomaterials classified into three groups: metals, polymers, ceramics, based on applications. Metals used for orthopedic, dental, maxillofacial load bearing. As a selected cobalt chromate tungsten alloy, our implants will be focused on orthopedic implants, dental, maxillofacial reconstruction, and load bearing implants. At present, what are the various materials used in medical implants? Stainless steel, titanium alloys, nickel alloys, and cobalt-based alloys. Nickel alloys slowly decrease the use of medical implants due to their toxic release in human body, which will generate cancer tumors in human body. And nowadays, they fully reduced the use of nickel alloys. Literature. Ellenwood Haynes, from American scientist who developed and invented cobalt-based alloys. Cobalt-based alloys have high resistance to wear and corrosion and high mechanical strength. Later studies revealed that these alloys can be used for biomedical applications as they are biocompatibility in nature. Currently, cobalt-based alloys are commonly used for prosthetic joints, knees, shoulder hip replacements. Typically, medical implants withstand in the human body for 10 to 15 years. Some of the researchers conducted in cobalt chrome alloys for medical implants based on some different manufacturing techniques. Kim et al. Conducted some experiments by using casting, milling and post-processing along with additive manufacturing process called selective laser melting. He compared the results and he found that selective laser melting possess superior mechanical properties compared to milling and casting, which are traditional manufacturing process. Mengushi et al. Conducted some experiments by direct metal laser sintering. It is also one of the additive manufacturing process. R&D plants also conducted some experiments The results indicate that higher limit tensile stress hardness as sintered state, which have gamma cobalt excellent lamina and gamma cobalt face centered cubic matrix, which are familiar. Megeshi Slodjedi compared some prosthetic cobalt alloys with investment casting and selective laser melting. We found that SLM manufactured samples are rougher than casting, investment casting. Yamanaka et al. Conducted some experiments on cobalt chromium as cast, employing tungsten and cobalt chromolyze, where it will increase resistance to corrosion and wear. Cobalt vessels regularly used for metal on metal implants where the wear rate will be high. By using cobalt, that's tungsten in cobalt chromolyze, the wear rate is decreased rapidly. Medical implants models vary from manufacturing of medical implants is very complex, as no patient will have similar geometry of bones. So in manufacturing, in traditional manufacturing, it is very difficult and will be time taking, and it will increase the production cost for medical implants. In order to bring down this production cost for additive manufacturing, you employ to make medical implants. Laser engineered head shaping is a promising metal additive manufacturing used to build nail head shape and FGM materials. Some of the researchers conducted experimentations on different materials by using lens process. Jin et al. Conducted some experiments with 316 stainless steel. Wang et al. Conducted on stainless steel, 410 stainless steel, and Wu et al. Conducted some lens experiments on titanium alloys, and Sahabrudde used lens for cobalt chromium alloys. Most of the studies revealed that cobalt based alloys are useful for medical implant applications. By using lens technique, they use titanium, nickel, cobalt, molybdenum alloys. The present study made an attempt to address the affirmative gaps in research gaps. Majority of the studies discussed about cobalt-based alloys in by the approach like in traditional manufacturing, and some of them manufactured in some additive manufacturing like SLS and DMLS. My research is conducted on lens process by using cobalt chromium tungsten alloy. It is a novel work objective of the present study. I use lens process to fabricate cobalt chromium tungsten alloy, and my work is to optimize the process parameters of lens machine for best performing hardness, elastic modulus, and corrosion resistance. Later, best performing samples are selected to go for biocompatibility to measure the toxicant release by the samples by conducting cytotoxicity and subchronic toxicity. Detailed methodology of the present work. Material selected cobalt chromium tungsten alloy. This is commercially also known as L86. Fabrication technique, laser engineered shaping, a metal additive manufacturing technique is also known as metal 3D printing. Mechanical tests carried. Mechanical tests, micro hardness, elastic modulus, microstructure analysis, phase analysis, corrosion resistance suitable to human body atmosphere. Analysis with those results analyzed with analysis of variance ANOVA and gray radiation grade analysis, biocompatibility test in vitro in vivo cytotoxicity, subchronic toxicity. Sample fabrication. I selected 3 process parameters which influence more on properties of mechanical properties of the material, like laser power, powder feed rate, scan speed. I selected the process parameters 200 to 350, and similarly powder feed rate and laser speed. These process parameters are identified by conducting preliminary experimentations in order to identify the lowest and highest limit for the material to take quality deposition. We have 3 process parameters at 3 levels. It will lead to 27 experiments. By using L9 orthogonal array, we can minimize the experimentations to 9. This is the L9 orthogonal array matrix According to this, we have selected all the process parameters. Students, this is the process parameters according to Elena Orthogonality, and implemented all this my process parameters: laser power, feed rate, stack speed, according to this matrix. These are the fabricated samples by using lens machine at DMRL Hyderabad. These are the highlighted samples are initial trials in order to identify the process parameters for lens deposition. Chemical composition of the cobalt, chromium, tungsten oil. Elements in cobalt-based alloys as received from the specifications. The composition received from vendor as received, and later we conducted XRF analyzer, positive metal identification method, to non-destructive testing to test the powder and samples as per the is there any modifications after lens deposited. It shows there is no significant change in samples composition after deposition. These are the samples after depositions and metallography process considered. After metallography process, the samples are ready for testing and analysis. Electrochemical etching was performed with 5% of HCl and with aqua solution in order to get the microstructure and observe microstructure under optical microscope. This is the microstructure under optical microscope. We can see here substrate deposition, and the highlighted part is intersection between the deposition and substrate. This is a microstructure analysis. We can observe all the microstructures similar with the primary dendrites and secondary dendrites. Secondary dendrites are projected out of the primary dendrites. Usually we measure this primary dendrites and secondary dendrites with image tool, and grain size we measured. It is typically the primary dendrites are as long as 40 to 50 microns, and secondary dendrites are 4 to 5 microns. Secondary dendrites, this is how we measure. Measure the center point, grain center to grain center. All the samples we measure, and the results are tabulated, and the graph is. The main purpose of measuring SPA is secondary data measurement. How this is influencing the hardness. This is measured. Here we can see the first sample, and the sixth sample shows 6th and 7th shows high grain size. These are the images from semi-images. Semi-images carried under electron scanning electron microscope, where we can identify the segregation of lens deposited samples. We can find that gray particles are cobalt, and that bright particles are tungsten, and dark phases, the boundaries of the grains is carbides from chromium. We further understand with BSc images, the precipitates are formed at the ground boundaries, carbides of tungsten and chromium. The composition possibly M23 and C6 and M7 C3. That M represents the composition of the main compositions of the powder samples like cobalt, chromium, and tungsten. These are the few samples after semi-images. This is the sample third. We can see the similar structure for sample 3, all the samples, and kept only few samples to see the structure for your purpose. This is for sample 8. Next, phase analysis is carried with the XRD diffractometer, where we can see the as received powder, where we have seen different phases observed. We can see that the powder having similar phases as deposited with the samples 1 to 9. There is no significant any new phases formed after lens deposition. The samples have same phases as in powder. This is further observed with the electron probe microanalyzer in order to see the grain structures and how the material, how the chemical composition formed at different phases. This is the electronic probe microanalyzer mapping, where we can see different chemical components formed after lens process. Cobalt, chromium, carbon and tungsten. These are the phases formed on the deposited samples. This is further analyzed with the line scanning analysis, where we can select a particular line, on that line, how the samples, how these composition, that metal compositions form. We can see that and it will be displayed as per the requirement of the samples. Micro hardness is measured with a diamond indenter, with applying load 5 newtons, and measured an elastic model is also calculated with Oliver and Farr method by load depth curve, which the load depth curve described from the hardness test. These are the results of grade analysis calculated. This is the diamond indenter, and the load is applied from each and every layer of the deposition sample. And you can see that the figure B, it is from substrate, it is near to substrate, and the B is the topmost layer. The indentation applied on each and every layer, and observe the hardness values. It is observed that hardness is very less at the substrate, near the substrate, and the hardness is very less at the top layers. It is due to the at the bottom, it is due to the effect from the substrate influence on the first few layers, and top layer it is due to the rapid solidification of the image. It is further shown from the graphs. This is the graph how the elastic hardness varies from bottom to top layer. At the bottom layer we observe very less. On the top layer you can see the decrease in the hardness. It is due to the influence of the substrate at the bottom layer, and at the top layer it is by the rapid solidification. Elastic modulus is calculated from the Oliver Farr method by using load depth curve. Average values for hardness and elastic modulus are graphed. And ANOVA analysis is carried to identify the process parameters influencing on the samples for best hardness and best elastic modulus. Gradation data analysis is used to optimize the multiple performances for different samples. Multiple performance characteristics for single grade values are calculated grade values, and these grade values are again process parameters for closer. If a high grade value is there, then we can find out these are closer to the optimized values. This is the main effect plot for hardness and elastic modulus. Here we can find that low laser power, high feed rate, and high scan speed most influencing for best performance of hardness. Similarly, for elastic modulus, high laser power and both feed rate, low and high feed rate. For scan speed, low and high scan speed are best suitable for elastic modulus samples. We have, according to our analysis, we require high hardness samples. Similarly, we require low hardness values. But in comparing, it is very difficult. By doing grade analysis, where we have different, like we need high hardness, similarly we need low elastic modulus. Now to bring them to single line for analysis, grade analysis is performed. By using grade analysis, laser power feed rate scan speed, we have calculated the analysis for ranking for the how they are influencing the process parameters. Which process parameters influencing more on the hardness and elastic modulus. Further, ANOVA analysis is carried by using Minitab software, and adjacent squares, some sequential squares, F ratio, B ratio are generated from the ANOVA analysis by using Minitab. From there it is calculated manually which process parameter influencing more, how much percentage these process parameters are influencing for hardness and elastic modulus. For both elastic modulus and hardness, laser power influencing 55%, for feed rate it is influencing 40%, and very less for scan speed with 1%. And the combined effect is 3%. Combined effect is both laser power, feed rate and scan speed. This combined effect is not included for this is an error for analysis. ANOVA for grade analysis, and it is a response chart for how the process parameters influencing for each level. We have 3 levels. These are the conclusions and we discuss. Corrosion resistance. How corrosion resistant? Corrosion resistance is a measure for samples, how it is influencing the body fluids and body chemical environment. Corrosion is very important for identifying the various materials for medical implants in vitro and in vivo conditions. Commonly used in medical for body fluid Hang solution. Hang solution prepared from these chemical compositions: sodium chloride, potassium chloride, CaCl2, NaCO3, and some of the magnesium chloride, glucose. And we have selected corrosion equipment with three electrode cell. Working electrode is cobalt, chrome and tungsten, that is test sample. Counter electrode is graphite. Reference electrode is saturated calomel electrode. These are the preparation sample prepared for corrosion testing. Each sample is brazed with common electrical wire in order to give electric current to pass through some voltage. And the samples are cold mounted on the top surface. We are measuring the corrosion on the top surface of the samples. These are the pitting corrosions. The samples after corrosion inserted into the Hang solution for a period of time and then removed, and we observed under 10 images. These are the 10 images. From figure we can see that sample 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7 shows gradually increase the corrosion rate, whereas sample 8 and 9 shows very lean corrosion. It is further identified by the Tafel plots. It is also known as cyclic polarization curves. We can see here that the curve for sample 1 to 7, that area inside the area is gradually increasing. It means the corrosion rate increasing. And after some time, we observe that sample 8 and 9 shows very lean corrosion, means they have high resistance to corrosion. Here the sample 7, 8, 9 have same laser power, 350 watts, but powder feed rate and scan speed is different for these 3 samples. Here, after analyzing, we can see that for corrosion samples, laser power is not influencing much. It is further influenced from the results. These are the data evolved from the Tafel plots and calculated. And similarly, I made the grade analysis. The red marks shows that sample 8 and 9, which are very lean corrosion and high resistance to corrosion. These are some samples before and after corrosion. The sample 7 is the highest corrosion rate, which is highest corrosion rate, and sample 9 is very low, means high resistance to corrosion. ANOVA analysis carried for ECAR and ICAR. ECAR is potential, I is current. Where here we can observe that low laser power is most influencing, and feed rate is for both 5 and 10. Scan speed is 15 grams per second. 50 mm per second is most influencing for ECAR. ECAR value should be higher and ICAR value should be minimum. For ICAR values, it is influencing 200 watts laser power, and more medium feed rate 7.5 grams per minute, and high scan speed 20 mm per second influencing. These are the grade relation grade analysis. At each level, we have 3 levels. At each level, we have calculated grade values and averaged them. Level 1 shows that laser power at 200 watts, and level 2 shows the grade value for 275 watts laser power, and level 3 shows for 350 watts laser power. Similarly for feed rate and scan speed. These values are tabulated previously, and then again we are at each level we are calculating the grade values, and according to this grade values, this ANOVA is done for grade values. It shows the laser power, very minimum laser power. Here it shows high laser power influencing more for combined effect for the ECAR and ICAR values. Further, ANOVA is done for variation analysis by using Minitab software, where we calculated the influence of process parameters like laser power, scan speed, powder feed rate. It shows that high scan speed is 31% influence in more. Next is feed rate with 27%, and laser power very less with 21%. And combined effect of these three process parameters, that is called error, it is 19%. Further, it is the response chart is drawn from with the grade relation grade values. Biocompatibility. Biocompatibility is a measurement of device how compatible with the body atmosphere. This is to determine the fitness of the device, whether it is suitable to human body or not. These are the listed tests in order to testify the biocompatibility of any metal device. These are the eight tests should be carried before commercializing the biocompatible in implant or bio devices. These tests are very time-taking and also very costly to perform experiments. I selected cytotoxicity, MTTSA, in vitro, and subchronic toxicity. These two tests I carried. These are the samples. On these samples, biocompatibility tests are carried. Cytotoxicity is a quality being cytotoxicity. What is cytotoxicity? Cytotoxicity is a quality being toxic to cells, living cells. Two cell lines are selected to test the samples for biocompatibility. Cells like osteoblast cell and even fibroblast cell. Osteoblast cell is a single nucleus cell which is used to connect the tissues, living tissues, and fibroblast cell is a multi-nucleus cell which is also used to, these are the cell lines near to bone, human bone. And these tests are conducted with under CO, in a CO2 incubator for a period of 72 hours, where we use the cell line implied on these samples and observed for supplying continuous oxygen and maintain at body temperature for 37 degrees Celsius, and observe that how the cell is reacting with the sample, less deposited sample. It shows that osteoblast cells is more familiar and gives more cell nature. Cell living means it is giving more cell life for the cell for 24 hours, 48 hours, 7 hours. Osteoblast cells is more viability, shows more viable compared to fibroblast cells. Subchronic toxicity. Here the cell line, some live animals are used to conduct live cell for a period of 90 days. It is a continuous, repeated with the contact with the live cell. These are done with the according to ISO 10993 and 11 guidelines. This is the study design for subchronic toxicity. 40 SD rats are selected, each sex for 20, for 10 for control and 10 for experimentations. And experimentation results are compared with the controlled rats values. These are the relative organ weight, and after the experimentation time completed with the 90 days, we have calculated, measured and observed that body weight, how any defects, any body part is damaged by the metabolic sample inserted into the rat. They are controlled with the control rats for male rat and female rat. We can see that there is no significant difference in the control and treated rats. It is further observed with the hematological values on the blood and semen are observed for rats for both control and treated. The treated values are compared with the control values. Here also we can find there is no significant difference. We can conclude that here that this subchronic toxicity does not release any toxin to the living cells of the rat, and we can find, partially we can conclude that these lens deposit samples are suitable for medical implants. In order to bring them to commercially to the market, we have to make some another few tests very vigorously, and then we have to take permissions from the Medical Council of India and we have to go for testing and then we have to bring this alloy to the commercially available for medical implants. And these are the publications I have published for my research work. And I would like to acknowledge the persons who supported me to carry my research work at DMRL. Dr. G. Satish Reddy, Chairman for DRDO, Government of India. Dr. Samir V. Kamath, Director General, DRDO. Vikas Kumar Singh, Director, DRDO, DMRL. Jagan Reddy, Group Head for LACG. And I. Gurappa, Scientist Chef of Defense Meteorological Research Laboratory in Hyderabad, and their supporting staff and technicians. And I would like to thank my Department of Mechanical Engineering, Office of Dean R&D, and KLF University for giving me a wonderful opportunity to pursue PhD at this university. Thank you very much for my presentation.
Just as we came a little bit late, I may just want to get your attention towards me. Just I want to put some clarifications.
Definitely, sir.
What was the main objective?
The main objective is to optimize the process parameters of the lens for best performing of hardness, elastic modulus, and corrosion resistance. And from there, for
Of what?
lens deposit samples, sir. For lens deposit samples, for best performing for hardness, elastic modulus,
Means
corrosion.
lens deposit for anything.
Anything not, sir. For my samples, sir, the cobalt, chromium, tungsten.
Is
sir.
that I don't know na. That's why I want to know about your objective.
Best
What is the
performing.
main objective?
Best performing for mechanical properties for cobalt, chromium, tungsten. Apart from bringing on the best performing samples, and then the best performing samples are tested for biocompatibility.
Some slides I got from your PPT that you have given some.
When I was suggesting biomedical association, generally our body will have certain temperature of some around 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
Yes, sir.
So have you tested it whether it is working under the personal temperature or not? Say, suppose
Yes, sir.
sometimes the temperature rises inside the body, so the temperature comes further also. So have you tested those tests? Have you conducted those tests?
Yes, sir. The corrosion test, carried in similar quantities.
Not for
Then the temperature is maintained at 37 degrees Celsius, sir, which is suitable to human body. Similarly, the biocompatibility cytotoxicity is also measured at 37 degrees Celsius. This is closely linked with CO2 incubator, sir. Where we maintain the temperature constantly for 3 days and measuring the cell viability at 37 degrees Celsius.
From your investigation, or you are able to reproduce the same results?
No, sir. The results are completely
You
different.
should make comparison.
Yes, Sir is asking whether those literatures you studied and materials available presently and you developed the material, alloy, whether there are any differences.
Alloy is not developed by myself, sir. It is available, sir. But there is no literature available for cobalt, chromium, tungsten alloy on lens process, sir. They are very limited also is for some other additive manufacturing process, sir.
That means simply you collect.
People are borrowing these prosthetics or implants with zirconium and titanium alloys. So these two alloys are very expensive. So they are suitable in European countries and in US. But our Indian, the countries like developing countries like India, it's very difficult for a common man to afford, right? So we want to produce indigenous prosthetics using cobalt, chromium, tungsten, cobalt, chromium, molybdenum. We are testing, right? And as he said in his presentation, there were no previous models from cobalt, chromium, tungsten. So there are studies on cobalt, chromium, molybdenum to some extent, right? Now we are trying with cobalt, chromium, tungsten also.
The cobalt, chromium, molybdenum also is in as casting, also not in additive manufacturing.
It is not available for
No, Indian presentation is
Right? So we are making prosthetics with high porosity. so that it will be suitable to elder people, right? So far, we are using, say, prefixed sizes prosthetics, right? And also, prefixed has different definitions. So, the medical people, they have their own definitions on prefixed sizes. Prefixed means it's not in terms of size, it should also be suited to the age. That what I define, right? So far, what we are using is even 20 years age person's prosthetics is same as used for 80 years old patient, right? It should not be. So 80-year-old patient cannot withstand the same prosthetics. It doesn't require that much density. So the strength is not the criteria, design criteria here, because that even ordinary alloy with stainless steel, right, 316, that itself is stronger than ordinary bone. That itself is stronger than ordinary bone. Only thing is other parameters like, say, biocompatibility, right, and other tests are required. What happened when it is in contact with other parts of the human body, right? All these alloys are they are highly toxic, right? So they are highly toxic. But when you make an alloy with cobalt chromium tungsten or cobalt chromium molybdenum, right, it has a very high biocompatibility. So that is another feature. So alone they are toxic, but they are biocompatible with human body.